Blue, what's going on? This is Shango. Ray, God damn it. Welcome to the very first Shango Unchained podcast. So, in just a moment, we're going to be getting into our very first topic. Let's see what's going on here. I'm going to just stop by the comments real fast. What's going on, Prophet? Sharon, hey, how you doing there? Thriller from Manila. Welcome, everybody. This is, like I said, I'm excited about this. This is my first time, you know? And I got to thank my very first guest, Dennise. She is also an occultist and a devotee of Santissima Muerte. So we're going to get into talking with her and discussing a very interesting topic, I think, that needs to be discussed. And that is dating in the occult. What's going on with dating for all the occultists? I'm talking about the real occultists too, not just the ones who treat this path as like a fad. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get in here. Let's get her in. Matter of fact, I'm going to let her kind of go through her background and stuff. Let's see. Dennise, you there?
Yes, I am.
Oh, welcome to the show. First of all, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate you actually being my first guest and de-virginizing me live.
Yeah, likewise. I've never accepted like an interview or anything like that. So this is my first two.
Well, obviously, then you're also a goddess of good taste. How can I be mad at that? Okay. So why don't you give us a little bit of background on your experience in the occult or spirituality, or what exactly are you into right now and your background? Yeah.
All right. So I first started, I guess you could say, with magic in general. Before that, I was a hardcore Christian, to the point that I didn't even wear pants. I would only wear skirts, and I would
Were you,
congregate in a
were you a
house.
Seventh Day Adventist?
No, no. I was just a Christian. I would study the Bible, but I remember I was a Christian for I don't even know how many years. And
Mhm.
then I used to go to church, and there was a group of people that I was friends with. And in my words exactly, I said I started feeling conviction about a lot of things that were being said in church, or things that they were being too lenient on. And I just didn't agree with that, because like in the Bible, basically like the Corinthians church, I think it was Paul, like he started like kicking people out basically. Like
Mhm.
yes, like all sinners can go or whatever, but you can continue in your sinful life, whatever. The point is that we started congregating in a house. I didn't even wear pants, whatever. And then in 2016, I was getting a divorce. I got divorced, I should say. In 2016, I was married 16 years to my high
Wow.
school boyfriend. And then in the transition, I got quickly into another relationship with a guy that I lasted about 6 years with. I jumped
Mhm.
into that relationship immediately. And in the beginning of that relationship, I started, I'm not sure exactly how I came across like love spells on YouTube. I don't know if it was that I was looking into love spells or I came across. That's where it started. It started on
Well, you
YouTube
got sucked
watching
in with the
love
love
spells.
spells,
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah. So I started just doing love spells. That's where it started. And then from there it
Mhm.
evolved. I I am a devotee of Santa Muerte, so I have two channels. One is dedicated solely to Santa Muerte. The other one is separate, and it's basically anything I want to talk about in regards to magic or spirituality. So
Mhm.
I talk there about my relationship with the demonic, and I upload like videos on candle magic and things like that.
Oh,
So
cool. All right. What are the name of your
yeah, it's
channels,
pretty
real
much
fast, just so people can? I'll actually put it in here too in the chat
yeah.
while you're. I know it's
Okay, so actually,
Juan the Devotee, right?
so no, I actually I changed the name. I think I have it as Santa Muerte Devotee, and I just need to let everybody know because I'm kind of chaotic, and it wouldn't be me without messing up the name. So I was driving when I was changing the name, and I changed it twice, and it's Santa Muerte Devotee, but I think like instead of double E at the end, it's like a W,
Mm.
and now I can't. I'm stuck with the
Whoops.
W for like 2 weeks.
Okay. Now, one thing also, I want to thank you again because I know how difficult this is as far as on camera. For some reason, you have an ism or schism with being on
Yes.
camera, which is why, we're looking at a picture of you. But, that's okay. Because I know sometimes for some people it's hard, I mean,
Yes. And I want to tell that to everybody because I have no problem
muerte.
being honest about like my insecurities or whatever. So just so everybody knows, I have like a humongous insecurity about being on camera. I feel like if I were to show my face, I could not concentrate on what I'm saying because I'd be too worried about what I look like. So it's probably one of those things I'm gonna have to overcome. Like my major obstacle in life is to show my face on camera. But that's why I'm not showing my face.
Yeah, well, we all got our insecurities, so everyone has them. So, but I appreciate this is a small baby step though, and you overcoming
Baby
more. So
step.
yeah, even
Yeah.
because I mean, you could have just said no. Like a lot of people, anything outside of the comfort zone, they say no to, you know.
Oh yeah. No, I was
So
definitely taking a shit when I found out it was fucking live. But I was like, because what if I say something, I'm gonna cringe and then I can go back. But I was like, fuck it, whatever.
and by the way, folks, she is, I believe, an Aquarius with like
I
lots
am.
of Libra, so you can see where all this
Listen, Shango.
all this shit come from. I'd
Okay,
be like, yo,
first of all, I'm
Jesus
an
Christ.
Aquarius, and I'm a Scorpio rising, and I'm a Sagittarius moon. Okay,
Yeah.
so the Libras are insignificant planets. We're not gonna
Hey,
just.
well, they want to come through, I guess, apparently, because it's like I
Oh
get
boy.
it. But
Mhm,
so
mhm.
needless to say, then you are a single woman right now. Am I correct in
For
that?
the first time in my entire life, I am actually single. Yes, I've never been single.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been single for uh I don't know, like 6 months, something like that. I've never been single in my entire life until now.
Oh, okay. So just off the bat, first of all, how are you taking to the single life? How are you adjusting to it? Because there's a lot of single women out there watching. You know what I'm saying? A lot of single women who are witches or, I don't know what they're into, occultists, high priestesses of this and that, whatever. I don't know, but they're single. So, what is your experience so far of like, anyways, of being single from coming
Um,
out of a relationship and stuff like that?
okay, so the let's see. So when I got, obviously, like I said, when I got divorced in 2016, at that time I was not into witchcraft. So I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have to deal with any issues regarding the person I was with in regards to my beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
But with the person that I got with after my divorce, when he found out that I was into witchcraft and things like that, he was absolutely and completely against it. And remember, that relationship was about 6 years.
Ah,
So,
that's a long time to be dealing with that shit.
yes. And I tried very, very, very hard because I loved him very much. And we actually broke up a couple times. And that was the final reason why I actually ended it. It was because when I broke up with him, I told him it's not because I don't love you. I love you with all my heart, but I like if you can accept that. So I tried everything, Shango. Like I tried compromising with him. I would, for example, Santa Muerte's altar. I would put everything away, like wipe it clean while he was home. And when he would go to work, I would take everything out and set it up. And it was take down, set up. So I tried a million different things. I was just like, look, this is like my altar room. Like, stay away from it if you don't want to deal with it. But it didn't
That
work.
sounds like
So
a
the
lot of work.
extremely. So to answer your question, then what's it been like? Okay, so when I was in that relationship, like I said, it was really hard. Then I got briefly, it was pretty brief, with somebody who was completely open to everything, and it was amazing to be with somebody who was so accepting, and he was also practicing, you know, all the stuff, and it was amazing. Now it was like I said, it was brief, and these past couple months being single, I for the most part love being alone. Like I love being alone. I have no problem. I I don't get sad. I don't get depressed. Like I love having my own space, my own. everything. So it didn't really take like adjusting. Once in a while, I do get lonely,
Mhm.
and of course, we all get horny.
Yes, of course.
but,
Absolutely. These bodies
but
need what they need. You know what I'm saying?
oh my god!
So have you
But
actively, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
no,
but
that's okay.
have you actively been like, well, looking into dating, or perhaps maybe been on some apps or something like that, or anything like,
Yeah. Okay. So after I broke like, that brief relationship that I was in, I think we broke up about maybe March, I want to say April of last year.
Mhm.
And so I've been single since then. And I really was not looking at all. I actually told myself I want to be single for a good while. I don't want to be with anyone.
Smart lady.
I was either tired of heartbreak or I didn't want to be with somebody who was not accepting of my beliefs. So it's only recent. I recently moved, first of all, from Miami to Austin, Texas.
Mhm.
I've been here 5 months in Austin. So I basically came, and it kind of had everything to do with like all those breakups and stuff. Like I just wanted to leave somewhere where I didn't know anybody and I could start a new life.
Mhm.
And that's what I did. I packed my car full of shit and I drove over here 22 hours. And I'm here now and I'm happier than I've ever been. But in the past maybe 3 months, I started getting kind of like, okay, I would like to meet someone. And I started getting on Hinge, on Bumblebee, on Tinder, on a whole bunch of fucking apps. And then the second a guy would start talking to me, I uninstalled them.
You would uninstall
And
them as soon as a guy started talking to you.
yeah, because
Why?
I don't know. I was like, it's just not for me. Like I have to meet organically I have to meet people. And most importantly, I realized that what I really want is we have to have the same spiritual beliefs. It is absolutely impossible in my mind to be with anyone ever again who at least is no, they have to be actually a practicing into the same stuff that I'm practicing, because it's not enough for me
Damn,
for
you're
them
on a
to be
tight
okay with
ship.
it. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of the guys that I was talking to, the second I would mention anything about witchcraft, that's it. They would stop talking to me. It
Wow.
doesn't matter, yeah, like what kind of great conversation we were having, they would just stop talking to me.
Wow. So they basically ghost you, is what you're saying. You get ghosted once you
Yeah,
said, hey, I get down with the business. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah.
get it.
So what I did is like on some of the apps, I basically put it on my profile, like, just so you know, or it's important for you to know, I am an occultist. I work with demons. I practice witchcraft, and like hardly like crickets. Nobody fucking messages me.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
it's
you know what? That's
crazy.
amazing, because on dating apps, right? And this has been scientific, there's actually been experiments on this, right? Where women would experiment with this and vice versa. But um, even the ugliest chicks get their inbox stuffed compared to like a hot dude. You know what I'm saying? Like on the dating apps, because it's mostly a meat market on the dating apps, right? Like as far as I think there is more men on dating apps than there is women, statistically speaking, anyway. So basically saying that already, if you're a man, anyways, okay. I know this cuts both ways. Women have their perspective on things. Yes, women get more quantity, but I know that many of you goddesses are looking for quality, I guess, if you're looking for anything, right? So, but even the ugliest chicks get like more messages than like the hottest dudes, right? Supposedly, right? So I find that very like amazing, actually, that I mean, you still was getting messages though, right?
So let's see. The last one that I uninstalled was Tinder. And I think when I uninstall them, I still get like an email if somebody messages me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a couple days ago when I put on the profile, I put, just so you know, I practice witchcraft. And if you are a Christian, I said, if you are a Christian, it is never going to work out. So don't bother messaging me.
Right.
Shango, I haven't gotten not one fucking email letting me know that there's
That's
a message.
amazing, because I mean, as people with eyes, can see, you're an attractive woman. So like attractive women should be killing it on the dating apps.
Well,
Maybe I'm
when
under a
before I put
misconception.
that,
Huh?
no, before I put that, I was getting messages like every 5 minutes.
Of
The
course, that's what I'm
second
talking
I
about,
put
right?
that, that's it. No messages. And even like I'm a massage therapist. I work at Massage MD. And there was one client who he started like showing interest in me, and I gave him my Instagram, and then I told him, I'm into witchcraft. That's it. I never saw him on my
That
page
was
again. It is
it.
insane. It's
I'm wondering if the
insane.
rest of you ladies, rest of you goddesses have that. Because I know like some people don't maybe put it in the terms of like, I practice witchcraft, right? Even though it can be considered witchcraft. I know people like to distinguish between the different systems and stuff. Hey, whatever, knock yourself out. Some people are just more into like, voodoo or, comedic sciences or whatever, but they're not into the same regular Christian shit or types of things that regular people are into. So I'm wondering, and those of you who are watching, if you want to put in the chat maybe what your experience is.
Yeah, I would totally be interested in seeing the experiences. And so I don't know if you know, but like Austin, Texas is like a witchy town, basically. Like
I
there's a
didn't know
lot
that.
of people.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here. This is one of the reasons why I loved this place when I came, was because of that. It's like a fucking witch town. And
Oh.
I don't know, Shango. Like honestly, at this point, I'm like, like obviously I have the issue of, obviously we're human and we want to have sex, and me being a Scorpio rising and all.
You got the stinger, you got to
But
do something with it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
listen, no, but number one, I can't just do like one night stands. I can't do it. I can't, because a lot of my friends are like, well, just go and fuck somebody, or let's go out and go fuck. I'm like, no, I can't do that. I cannot. I've never been able to do one night stands. I have to have a connection. And like I told you earlier, by a connection, the greatest turn on for me, number one, is intelligence, and that we're in the same spiritual stuff. Like that, I
I
don't
have a
even care
feeling
how
I
a
have a
person
feeling that
looks.
might change for you. Like not
What do you mean?
okay, this is what I mean. Okay. There are infinite numbers of variations and connections that one can experience. Can we both agree on that? Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay.
So what if, suppose you found somebody who is not, I'm not saying to not want somebody or to choose somebody who is on a similar path as you, that doesn't, however, that's not fire insurance though. That's not going to guarantee, because there's also a lot of fucked up people on this path too,
Oh,
so
100%. I forgot to say they have to be sane and have common sense.
yeah. Yeah. I think it comes down to your, at least on some of your most important values that you guys kind of match. So that way you guys are going to go in the same direction, because if you guys meet now, it might be cool now, like you said, momentarily, and then they're growing this way and you're going that way. So it's like,
okay, so hold on. So I have a question. So are
uh-huh.
you saying that is it possible for me to be willing to be with somebody in a relationship who does not share the same spiritual beliefs? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying, okay, look, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying eventually, I think, this is just my personal opinion, I could be totally wrong, but I think your
Okay.
mind is going to open. Not because you're going to have to, but like I said, let's say perchance like you met somebody, but they were just very receptive to you and very understanding and very empathetic with you. And yet, no, they didn't get out and practice. They were like it's like you're Superman or Superwoman and your husband's like a human. You know what I'm saying? So like you get with a human, but I'm gonna quote this dude I seen, Black Dot, because he was asked the same thing on this, and he was like, "Show me that person's heart, and I'll show you what we can do." Because if their heart's in the right place, you can go real far as compared to someone who's into the same shit as you are, but their heart's all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying you could be surprised. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't put yourself in the corner. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
no, you're absolutely right. Okay, so I try to be very open-minded, but I'm only saying that from experience that I've tried
Right.
in the past. So
Right.
it's not impossible. No, it's not impossible, but it's very extremely highly unlikely And I know that when I say it, you might think like, oh, it's just, it didn't work out. And she was like, okay, that's it. It's black and white. But Shango, you don't know how much I tried. I tried to make it work. And
I'm not doubting how much you try. I'm not doubting how much you tried to make it work. I can hear that in your voice. Like I can even hear the pain in your voice from that
boy.
because I know. So
oh no, not the pain.
I can hear that. No, for real. I can. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is yes, we must remember though. For example, just remember though, yes, you put a lot of that effort though, but that was with that one person at that one time in that one type of relationship. And there's, I don't know, 7.5, 8 billion people here. So I'm just saying, don't lose. Not saying that like you're pining after a relationship right now, because it seems like you're actually like, yo, this is the shit. I should have did this a long time ago. I know.
Yeah, no, I am in love with life. Like I can't even tell you, I've never been this happy in my entire fucking life. I've never had this much peace. I have my own apartment the way that I want it. I painted the shit black.
There's no putting a price on that. There's no putting a price on that. There's no putting a price on that. For real.
Okay, but here's the thing. Okay, if I were to meet someone and let's say they were super understanding how you're saying, right? And they allowed me to have my fucking altars all over the apartment, how I have right now. It's not the same, Shango, because even if they were super understanding, the connection that I have felt with multiple different people who are on the same spiritual path or share the same beliefs, I want to be able to talk to the person that I'm with about things like this. Like this to me is not a hobby. Like I live this day in and day out all day, even when I'm at work in Massage MD. Like my mind is always in magic, spirituality, spirits. How can you think that I can have a fulfilling relationship with somebody who is not in that same mindset? It's very difficult.
That's a good point. That's a good point. No, I understand because you probably are at some point in time, you're going to want to discuss certain experiences, certain things that they probably are not going to be able to relate to at all. Yeah. So I get it on that point where you want to be able to, you want your partner to be able to empathize with you and be like, yeah, you know, and be able to know what it's like to do certain things or be familiar with certain things. So
like I want to be able to do like sex magic with the person that I'm with.
Right.
And shit like that. Like it's just, at this point in my life, going through everything I've gone through as far as relationships, I absolutely, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to try to get with me who is not into the same spiritual stuff that I am, because I'm pretty much set in that, like, you have to be in some, like, there has to be some sort of like similarity, you know, like maybe I don't know.
I
maybe
always say you don't have to be doing. You more than likely you're not going to be doing the exact same shit I'm into or into the exact. But you at least got to be in the same neighborhood somewhere.
Something like working with the dead or some shit, like something.
Something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like I have a skull here in my house, like a human skull. Like I have altars everywhere. Like I'm initiated into Ifa and Santeria. Like there has to be something similar.
Lab Music commented that's called being unequally yoked, because you know how the Christians be saying that
unequally yoked. Yeah,
hallelujah, because you're going to hell, because in other words they're going to take you off your path if you are, you know.
Absolutely,
you know.
And just like we were talking earlier, because just so everybody knows, Shango and I can talk for like fucking hours and days about all kinds. I was like, watch when we get on the live. I don't know what the fuck to talk about.
I'm like, no, because you're with the boss with the sauce, so I'm gonna like make sure like we smooth it out. Okay, so go ahead.
Oh fuck! What the hell was I saying? What the hell was I just saying? I lost my train of thought.
Hold on, let me access that for you. No, but you were saying we were talking about unequally yoked, and like as far as the Christians won't think you should be. And same with the Muslims kind of too, although I think in Islam, you can be a Muslim guy and your wife could be a Christian, but you can't be a Muslim woman and marry a Christian guy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. From what I understand anyway. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. But I do believe Lab Music also said, and I agree with this comment that applies to everything being equally yoked. You know what I mean? And I think really if you want to take equally yoked from a concept into something practical, once again, that means making sure that their core values, what is the most important to them, at least
Yeah.
maybe the top 1, 2, or something like that, match yours.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
If you have that, you got so much, you know.
Look,
Now,
Shango, with my ex-boyfriend, the one that I left in Miami, I used to think that if you, this was truly what I felt in my heart, 100% without a doubt. If we adore each other and love each other, we can make it work. Like our religion, we don't have to have the same religious belief. Here's the
that's
thing,
what I
I
was
still
trying to
believe
tell you,
that.
Vaughn.
No,
Yeah.
but listen, Shango. So if, okay, there's a lot of relationships of older people that I know that are even in my family that they don't agree in the same religion. They like, one's an atheist, one's a Christian, but there is something about the occult that is like the exception to the rule. It will not work. It's easier for an atheist to be with a Christian and for them to live a harmonious life. But I don't know what it is about
I'm
being
going
an
to tell you
occultist.
one of the reasons why, and that is actually
Okay,
a
tell
good
me.
point. The basis of the occult is truly actually is self-deification, self-actualization, stuff like that, which means, and that's why you always hear it is a lonely path or a solo path. You may not even feel lonely, but it is, you will find yourself alone, even in a room full of people or sheeple or the humansies. You know what I'm saying? Not to say it like that, but I'm saying it like that because that's how the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? Especially as you start to awaken to certain things within yourself, and then you start seeing shit going on around you, start seeing the different paradigms and different, you know, people, stuff like that. That's where it can be very isolating at times, or especially when you're first getting on or first coming online with your stuff and you don't really know what's happening. You know, a lot of people experience like a dark night of the soul because a lot of the old shit has to be removed, has to be deconstructed. So you're in this weird no man's land and you don't know what the hell's going on. Nobody's getting you. You don't want to be around nobody. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Like, I think we've all been through a version of that, some form of fashion. And I know it's hard, especially if you're living with somebody. That's got to be, living with somebody, period, anyway, in my opinion, is tough.
Extremely.
Period.
Yeah.
It's full of compromise and shit like that. Some people are not here really to compromise that much. You know what I mean? And that's okay. You know, I think what it really also comes down to is knowing yourself, right? Knowing yourself, and then knowing what it is that you truly desire, what you need, and standing on that. You know, a lot of people are out here trying to get into a relationship because they feel like they should. They're shooting all over themselves. They feel like they should be. I'm 32 years old. My biological clock's ticking. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. They feel like they should be something. But really, truly, maybe it's not what they really want. You know what I'm saying? I guess that can only be answered by the individual. I don't know, you know.
Yeah, no, that's true. And so while you were talking, there was, number one, I've never, I heard about like the discrimination. Like I never, let me tell you. So these, I want to say these past 3 years, first of all, my life has been, I've never learned so many lessons since 2016 when I got a divorce. But these past 3 years have been the most intense years of my life that I can remember. And just so everybody knows, so I work with Belial. Belial is my patron demon. So the main spirits that I work with are Santa Muerte, Belial, and Lucifer, and the Orisha Elewa, which is my father, my Baba. And yeah, these past, I'd say like 3 years have been, I've experienced so much like that I intellectually knew and heard about in the beginning of my practice, but which, okay, so it's been about 7 years since I got into magic and the occult. But I actually experienced it and lived it the discrimination, like you were saying, the dark night of the soul. I would hear that word being thrown around. I was like, oh yeah, I've been through hard stuff. That was like a night of the soul type of situation. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
These past like 3 years have been like, okay, this is the epitome of what the dark night of the soul is. I've been through the hardest things. I thought my divorce was the hardest thing I went through in the 2 years leading up to it. But just this move alone to Texas was
That takes guts too, by the way. I was just going to say, I
I
didn't get a
can't
chance
even,
to
it's
tell you
an
that.
understatement. Yes, because
Props to you
not
for
just,
that.
yeah. So let me kind of like basically whoever listens to this, which I hope that some of my subscribers in my channel listen to this because I've never shared this on social media. But just so quickly, kind of you guys know a little bit about me, and even you don't know this about me. So I moved from Mexico when I was about 4.5. I was born in Mexico. I'm Mexican completely. And my mom, so I was raised in Miami with my mom's bisexual. So she had me with my father in Mexico. And then when we moved to Miami, my mom was with a woman. Now, she's never confirmed this, but I feel like she brought me to Miami and was with a woman just because it was kind of like the easier route. And I could be totally speaking for her, but that's what I believe. I'm just being completely honest. So the point is that I was raised in Miami with a woman. So I was raised by two moms, basically. And then, okay, she broke up with her. There was another woman who finished raising me. I had twin brothers and a sister. And let's see what else. So that was in Miami.
Would you say that, I mean, obviously that experience kind of maybe did that affect or set the tone for your future relationships in some way?
What do you mean, like the whole lesbian thing?
Well, not like, oh, that's that you want to put it like that. No, but I'm saying I'm sure, like, I don't know if at the time maybe that was not such as much the norm as it could be now. You know what I'm
You
saying?
know what? I never had an issue with it. Like for me, it was not like a trauma. Like I remember I was like in elementary school and I would tell
I
like
got two
everybody like,
moms.
oh yeah, my mom's a lesbian. She's with a girl. Like I didn't I didn't give a shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It was never like, oh, I don't want to tell my mom. No, it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
by the way, what the hell was the point of me telling you that situation? Because now I got it all into the whole me coming to Miami and I'm like, what the fuck was I saying?
But I'm just, well, you was talking about how you moved from Miami to Texas.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
so
I think
the
that
most
takes
difficult
guts.
shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, oh yes, I remember why. So it was basically the fact that I moved here to Austin, Texas. The point of me telling you that was that I was not raised with my biological blood family. I was raised with the family of my mom's girlfriend, which to me, I still love them, but I know that they're not my biological family. And even as a child, I was never really attached. I wouldn't say, oh, grandma, come give me a hug. I was always by myself. My mom raised me like pretty much by myself. I never got attached to the family that raised me, even though they did not deserve that from me.
Hmm.
And I do have a lot of regrets about that, of course. And I keep in contact with them now, but even now it's hard for me. I've never told my mom I love you in my entire life. And
Wow.
when I moved to Austin, there's a lot of personal things that obviously I'm not going to get into, but
Of course. Mm.
me moving to Austin 5 months ago completely severed ties with my mom, which was the only pretty much like I guess anybody that I had in my life because I'm not close to my biological family.
Hmm.
So to say that it was difficult for me moving to Austin, Texas was the greatest understatement ever that I can never explain to anyone. It has
Hmm.
built so much, and that's why I'm saying the whole dark night of the soul thing.
Hmm.
Um, I was I couldn't explain the pull that I felt to Austin, and even till this day, I'm like, okay, I don't know why, but all I know is that maybe it was just because I'm happy. There could even be a greater purpose that I don't understand what it fully is yet. Um,
Of
all I
course,
know is
that
I've
is,
never been this
that's a part
happy.
of it. Yeah. Well, that's
Absolutely,
good.
yeah. So I felt like a crazy pull to here, and I couldn't explain logically why. But here I am, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire. No one helped me. No one helped me load the U-Haul. No one helped me unload the U-Haul. Nothing. Like I said,
You
I'm
know what?
happier. Best
And
decision
you know
ever.
what? You'll reap the rewards of your willingness because a lot of like, you know how they say in the church, many are called, right? But the chosen are few. but the ones who are willing on this path to I mean, if that is the epitome to me of stepping out of your fucking comfort zone. I mean, like most people, especially women by themselves, will not do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I tip my hat to you if I had one, you know what I'm saying? But
it was hard as fuck, but I love it.
But that attitude is going to take you very, very far,
Yeah, I never give up.
As far as dating goes, okay. So as a woman, and I know every woman's different, but when it comes to meeting a man for the first time or meeting somebody for the first time, do you get like intimidated about that, or you just kind of like, hey, I figured if you're willing to do some shit like that, then going to meet somebody, because I noticed that there's a lot of intrepidation. Many women say they want certain things, but when it comes down, when the rubber hits the road, that comfort zone kicks in, and they.
Okay, so let's see. All right, so you're asking me about, do I get intimidated when I meet people?
Yeah, like what is your will? I guess the question more so is, I mean, I don't even know exactly what it is that you're looking for, if you're looking for anything right now, but if you were to like meet somebody online, and I know like you're over the whole online thing, but if you met somebody online, how, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is like your willingness to step out of your comfort zone as far as that goes, to go meet that person? Because the only way to really gauge something is to meet nose to nose, toes to toes. That's the only way you're gonna do it. You can't hide behind a phone and video chat and shit forever. Like
that's not my thing. So
yeah.
Okay, so people when they meet me, they're like, you're such an oxymoron, because I'm like I'm an extremist. Okay, so you're like, I don't want to show. Like everybody here is like, okay, she doesn't want to show her face. She's super insecure. But everybody who knows me in my real life, in real life, they're like, what? You're insecure? I have no problem, Shango. If we had a stage, right, with like 200,000 subscribers in the audience, I would be perfectly fine and confident, not nervous whatsoever, speaking in front of everyone. I have no issue. It's just the camera thing. Like, I can't talk in front of 10 people in the camera, but I'll talk in like a sea ocean of like an audience. So I have no issue going up to people, responding to people. Like I'm super confident and like aggressive almost in my like approach when it comes to people. It's just the whole camera thing. So yeah, I have no problem.
I see.
And then what was your other question? What am I looking for if I'm looking?
Yeah, I don't know. Like you personally, I just wanted, are you looking for anything, first of all?
Okay, so like 2 days ago, I uninstalled Tinder. I was like, you know what? That's it. I decided I'm going to be single. The original plan was like a year. Now,
how's that going?
Well,
single for a year. So, I mean, when you say single, you mean like not in a committed relationship, right?
Okay. I just put my wine up, my cup down right now. Like I was telling you earlier. So, yes, but we have to explain to the audience what I told you earlier, right? Which was, okay. I am not on these apps to meet somebody short term or to have a one-night stand. I can't do that.
Hold on, stop. Okay, so you're bringing up a good point, and I'm glad you just brought that up. Or the wine brought it up. Okay.
Yeah, the wine.
So, this is what, I've noticed this. As a man, I have a question about this. Maybe some of the gods who might be watching down the line and whatnot, they may say, hey, you know what? That's a good point. Anyways, this is my question. I noticed there's a lot of women, not all, of course, but there's a lot that say things similar to like, well, if you're not looking for an exclusive relationship or you're not looking for marriage, swipe left, right? And it's like, hold on. You could meet someone who's also looking for marriage or an exclusive relationship. Doesn't mean they're going to be that person for you. So I guess my question is, what is wrong with dating, right? Like taking your motherfucking time, which means not jumping into something, no locking keys just yet. Okay. Like take your motherfucking time. And then if it grows into that organically, even better. If it doesn't, hey, even better. You know, I
Okay,
understand
so
having intention, but at the same time, you cannot micromanage how this shit is going to unfold for you, you know?
yes, and this goes back to our conversation yesterday when I was driving to work about us communicating,
Mhm,
because I think there was like a miscommunication here. So what I mean by dating is I agree with you.
mhm,
I am not trying to rush into anything serious.
mhm.
However, the ultimate goal, so if I'm on an app, it's to potentially meet somebody. My intention is that I would like a serious relationship, but by
Okay.
no means am I saying I'm going to
You're
rush
trying to
through
have
the
it
dating.
tomorrow.
Hell
Yeah,
no. On the
right.
contrary, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm probably going to want it to extend longer than a guy expects me to, because I think that most girls, we want to rush through the process and be like, okay, he's the one. Now we're not in a serious relationship. No, but
Or worse, like, you know what I'm saying? You massage the back of that a few times, like 3 times, and then they assume in their own mind that y'all are together. Speaking from a
yeah,
man's point
no,
of view, you know what I'm
yeah. And first, and just so you know, by the way, every single relationship I've ever been in, I'm like, I tell them straight out, I'm like, okay, technically speaking, are we in a committed relationship? Yes, I need a yes or a no.
saying? You're one of those, what are we, girls? What are we?
What are we
So what are
exactly?
we?
Because
My
I don't want to
friends are
bullshit.
asking me, what are we? And it's like, well, tell your friends, mind they motherfucking business. Okay.
Well, I don't have any friends, but yeah,
No,
I
I
need to
know.
know.
I'm fucking with you. Prophetess also
So,
said everybody
uh-huh.
needs to know what the other is aiming for. I think that's key.
Exactly.
I think that's
Yeah,
key. Like,
exactly.
say what it is for you. Be honest, in other words.
Yeah, the intention. Like, look,
Be
I
honest.
don't want to go on 10 dates with you and then say that we're together. No, I could probably fucking date you for a year and I have no expectations from you. You could go on dates with a million other girls for a year, also be dating me for a year. And if it works out in a year, then we'd be in a relationship. But the
That's
whole
it.
point that I'm not in an app to try to have one night stand. I don't do that. If I'm on
Mhm.
an app, it's to potentially date someone for an unlimited amount of time, but with the purpose of ultimately having a serious relationship. I am not looking for short term situations like a lot of guys put on the apps.
Mhm. I see. Hey, Lab Music Satch Gang, what's going on? There's a comment that I was just reading. Lav Music said, or LAV Music says,
Uh huh.
nah, I just used Tinder. It reminds me of something that you had said too. So that's why I'm going to read this comment. I'm going to put it
Okay.
on the screen here. No, I just use Tinder to fuck. I ain't going to
You
lie.
see? Okay.
I know. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that though.
No,
Like,
there's nothing wrong with that. But
I
as
ain't
long as
gonna
you're
lie.
clear
Hold
about
on,
your
hold on, hold on,
intention.
hold on. I ain't gonna lie. I never fell in love with somebody off of Tinder. And most girls that are into the occult usually friend zone me or ghost me. It's cool though. You know?
Yeah.
So I mean it is what it
But you
is,
see
you
what
know.
it is? They're straight up about their intention.
I mean,
That's
especially
all
us
I'm
men,
saying.
like I know women love sex probably more than women, right? But us men, yes, we want to fuck, right? Now, I guess there's degrees to that, of course. You have your just hookups or whatever. Me personally, I need a little, I need at least some type of mental connection. Like, you know,
Yes.
it can't just be all mechanical. I can't,
No. Yeah.
I gotta have something to this kind of revs my engine. You feel me? So like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yes.
So
For
even if
me,
it's
my down there is connected to my brain. You have to stimulate my brain. If not,
exactly,
nothing's happening.
exactly, you have to be, yeah, your brain has to be stimulated. There has to be more than just like, to me, it just, I can only speak for myself, but yes, of course, one of the prerequisites is I want to fuck, of course. Like, yes, I'm a man. Why have a Lambo if you don't take it out the fucking garage? You know what I'm saying? That's my philosophy. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm also highly selective. Um, you know, there's a lot
Oh,
of
are you? Oh, that's a
I
good thing.
I'm pretty
I
yeah.
didn't I didn't
I'm
expect that.
I like quality. Okay, I like
Oh, good.
quality. I'm
Okay.
not
I didn't
saying
think that.
like I'm not saying that quality means just one, but a quality three is better than, you know, just a 10. That 10 of them that is just like you know. So that's my thing. You know, high quality rotations.
Well, it's
But this
refreshing to hear that men are picky because I was under a different impression.
men who know their own personal value and shit, I guess you could say. Yeah, I mean, you'd want to be, you can, and then of course, as occultists, we're aware of energy, we're aware of spirits, and besides,
Exactly.
like for example, let me just tell y'all something. I'm gonna be a little transparent with y'all. Okay. I met a woman through Tinder, and I was actually amazed because, well, my usual thing is if I can get you on the phone, it's a wrap. You know, I'm that good.
What?
Yeah. If I can get you on the
Oh,
phone, it's a wrap. Like, because that's where I establish my connection. We're talking about that mental connection. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
wait, I
Like,
have a question. How long were you talking to her before you told her to talk on the phone? Because a guy did that to me, and I'm like, I wonder if he was.
it's that's the difficult part because
Okay.
most women, obviously, I'm not going to be chopping it up with a Google monster. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're hot, even somewhat, there's a lot of dudes vying for your attention. So I mean, and I can empathize with how exhausting it could be for you ladies. You know, you're having a decent conversation here, then another one here, and then here comes this motherfucker. Hey, how are you? And you got to start all over again. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
conversations take a lot of your mental energy. You know, I don't think people really understand that, especially really the ones that really engage you. You know what I'm saying? The ones that really grab your attention. But yeah, so getting someone on the phone initially can be somewhat of a challenge because of that part. You know what I'm saying? You can have the best cocaine, but if I can't get it up your nose, it doesn't matter. You won't know it. You know what I'm saying? So like, it doesn't matter. So, but once I get you, but anyways, I just wanted to say this though. I give her props because check this out. She actually told me, so we're in the midst of a conversation and I start getting her to, reveal her fucking soul. And she reveals to me, Vaughn, check this out. She reveals to me, she was like, yo, I got herpes. To me, that took fucking guts. Of course, needless to say, but in a way, you kind of got to, because if it's going to go that way, I mean, I give her props because it's too easy to not say nothing. Okay, there's that whole STD disease thing. Mm-hmm. Then you have like spiritually transmitted demons, as they say, which is some real shit.
Which is even worse.
It can be, yeah. There's no pills for them, for those. You know, I mean, some of the diseases you get it and you got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm a disease. Okay, when I get one, I got one. Okay, but as far as that goes, it's like, so there's a lot of obstacles, right? And one thing that I've noticed is a lot of people are complaining, both sides, men and women are complaining how the other side, everyone's faking the funk. Everyone's fake as fuck. But you know what I see? I see a lot of scared people. I see a lot of people scared of being rejected, scared to just put themselves on the table, so to speak, and say, look, this is me.
Themselves.
Right. And they're scared of that rejection. They're scared of because everybody's got shit in their closet, right? Everyone has something that they're not proud of, or maybe they're embarrassed of, or just whatever. Like, it's not going to match all the pictures, you fucking sky. Oh, wait, I went out.
Yeah, you did. Okay, but you came back. All right. Something about the sky.
Am I still here? Can you, I seen my camera go out, so I didn't know.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Anybody hear?
Yeah, okay, so you cut off at the part of the sky.
I don't even remember what the fuck sky was. Hey, but my point is, I'm just saying there's a lot of obstacles, right? Another aspect of like the whole online dating thing, you got fucking scammers, right?
Yep. And God, and I mean, like, what the fuck is that called when they don't look like they're shit? Catfishing. Fucking catfishing. I mean, have you been catfished before, by the way?
I have been catfished in the way where I feel like, to me, honestly, ladies, listen up carefully, okay?
Okay.
Too much makeup. Yes, please. Too much makeup and too many filters is almost equivalent to fucking catfishing, okay? And now you could put that shit on a video too, so you could be video chatting. And I'm still thinking you look like that, and then I meet you in person, and I'm like, "Whoa, wait, what?" You know?
Okay,
So,
wait. So I have to tell you. So I love using filters. Okay, but I try not to use them like too much where it doesn't look like me. So I recently met somebody here in Austin that I was friends with like for years
mhm,
online.
mhm,
And we're into the same occult stuff, a guy.
mhm.
And one day he said to me, "Well, at least you look like your pictures." I was like, "I do?" Wait, that's like the greatest fucking compliment ever.
Hey, for
Because I use
real, you
fucking
know?
filters. I am not gonna use filters. Okay, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
show my bare face. But
I
it
mean,
was
that's
amazing
fine.
to me that he said, "Well, you do look like you in your picture." I was like, "Okay,
But
that's
to the
fucking
point where
awesome."
it's like blurring out like
Right.
everything, and then like everything that's going to be apparent when you
Yeah.
meet somebody nose to nose, toes to toes. Like they're gonna be like, holy shit,
Exactly.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not too much. Not too much. Just
yeah,
a
that's
little
all I'm
bit.
saying. To the point where you almost look like somebody else.
Yeah, no, that's fucked
I
up.
think that's
No,
fucked
that's
up,
fucked
you
up.
know,
That's super
or
fucked up.
using old ass pictures, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like that's another one, you know, using old ass pictures and shit like that. So just like goddamn, because I mean, you know, we're both into fitness, right? So we know how
Yes.
quickly your body can change, especially when you're not keeping it up. Like
Well,
that
I'm
shit
still
can go to
trying to
hell.
lose weight, so I'm still
Like I said, we're
I
both
have
into
a lot.
fitness. So
Yes.
like, you know how quickly though things can go to shit if you just
Hell
don't
yeah.
do anything, you know.
If I
So
smell a
you're
fucking donut that came
yeah, so
20
you're
times.
posting pictures from 6 months ago. A lot of shit could change in 6 months. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Shit.
You
I
know.
haven't, oh my God, I haven't lost a pound in like 2 weeks because I've been slacking. So 2 weeks. Yeah.
Hey, I mean,
And
nothing's. Hey,
change.
you know, consider it a what do they
Oh,
call it?
fuck.
Consider it a deload week, right? Because if you've been on it for a long
Yeah.
time, you're supposed to take like a deload week. You know what I'm saying? Chill out a little bit,
Yeah. At least I
up
didn't
your
get any of that.
calories, bump up your leptin, so that way when you come back, you're back to burning even more. You know, because your body
Yep.
gets used to all that shit. The body's
That's true.
funny. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but
Wait, you said something, Shango, that was gonna lead us into like a different topic. Um, which fuck, now I'm trying to think what the hell you said. But it was something about magic too, obviously, because we don't want to get away from
okay, so
magic.
let's get into some love spells. I know people want to know
Oh,
some love spells. Yes, and I know that tickles your, fancy as far as love spells. That's what got you. That's what pulled you. That's what they use to get you into your path. You know what I'm saying?
hell
It's like,
yeah.
okay. So,
Shoot.
um, what are some practical love spell, or just how about this? Just give one. All right. What is a
Okay.
practical love
Well,
spell that you can
okay,
have?
so
Give
here's
to
the
people.
thing about me. I don't have like a textbook type love spell. I always follow like my intuition when it comes to love spells.
Which, by the way,
And
is the best thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. If you're able to trust your intuition enough to kind of like make your own spell, that's actually the best. But go
yes.
ahead. I'm sorry about that. Had to.
So the last thing that I did, I mean, I'll share the last thing because you're asking me like what's a simple one. I guess you would. So okay, look, I'm gonna be honest. The love spells that I do a lot of times, they're not gonna appeal to a lot of people because, to me, it's not disgusting, but some people may find it disgusting. Some of the best ingredients that I use are period blood. I cannot wait
Oh
till
yeah,
I get
that's
my
for
period
sure.
every month.
That's one of the most powerful
I have
things. Yes.
fed my shit to the people I've been with. But
Say
okay,
what?
so I have fed it to them. Spaghetti, yes, it's been in spaghetti. Okay,
See, that's
100%.
another thing, fellas. You gotta watch that. Watch that lasagna and watch that spaghetti, yo. Okay,
Yep.
especially if you
No, but
do.
no. But hold on, Shang. Why are you telling them to watch it? I mean, unless they don't want to be in a relationship with the girl, then okay, watch it. But
They want to have some
whatever. I mean,
choice. You know what I mean? They don't want to be like, spiritually
really? You
bound by
don't,
that.
okay, hold on. Do you have an issue tasting the blood?
Not at all. I got my Red Wings. I got my license. I'm certified.
Okay, so you're, what do they call it? The
To me, that's
monkey,
like
bloody
fucking.
monkey?
That's like sriracha sauce to me. I don't give a fuck. Like, try again. Okay. I'm a
Okay.
God. All right.
All right. Well, let's see. Okay. So to answer your question, so one of the last things that I did, you know what? Do I want to say this? Okay, I'll say it. I made a puppet, and I'm not even gonna go into too much detail because
Is it still in motion,
even
or
YouTube.
is it over and done with?
Listen, I cannot go into that.
Okay, well then don't talk about something you
Listen,
got in the
no,
works,
no,
you know?
no, no, that's fine. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. So look,
Okay.
I made a puppet, right? Out of an okay, I just made a puppet. And what you girls, what you can do is I'm probably gonna get so much hate for this from the guys. Get a picture, go print a picture of the guy's face, and I physically sewed it onto the face of the puppet. I cut out the picture of the face, I sewed it. And then with my period blood, I basically, when I got it, I would collect it. And I mean, this is gruesome. Like, how deep do you want me to go, Shango?
It's not. Listen, you're a lot of
Okay. All right, I'm
magic.
allowed.
Most
Okay.
magic practitioners of some kind or occultists of some kind are watching or will be watching this shit.
Got
So
it. Okay.
you know this is not like out of the realm of probability
Okay,
for
no
most of
problem.
them. Okay.
So, what girls, what you can do is either it's a day where I'm home, I'll use those cup silicone thingies that collect your period. But even if you don't, just use a tampon. And obviously, when you take it out and it's like soaking wet, that you're about to change it, I'll
Wring
get
it
like
out.
from Dollar Tree the little glass vials, and I'll squeeze all the blood in there, and I keep it in the fridge just for whenever I need it. So
Mhm.
I basically soak the puppet in period blood, and not just that, but the clots that are like thick. I basically put it on his heart and I said, "This is now your heart." And I let the blood clot like dry on the area of his
Damn, you went
heart.
hard.
Yeah, yeah. And I speak to it. I basically almost like baptized and I brought it to life and I said, I put the blood clot on his heart and I said, "This is now your heart." And I got a picture of myself, of my face. I folded it towards me. You know, I put powders in there, all kinds of shit. And then I sewed it on the area on top of the blood clot on his heart. So you can also sleep with the puppet under your pillow. You can masturbate holding the puppet. Like I have a vibrator. You can
Mhm.
masturbate.
Mhm.
And there's just all kinds of shit that you
Put
can
his
do. Use
picture
your
on the
fucking
vibrator. Yeah,
imagination.
you know what I'm saying. Yeah, just that
Yeah.
type of thing. Yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. So what? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you like, was
Okay.
I don't want to ask which relationship as far as you used it for,
No,
because
don't.
ladies, you should know this. Like, I gotta say this though, ladies, you
Okay.
should know this. All right, especially if you are also into the occult and you're getting more and more into the occult, i.e., yourself. You know thyself. If you're trying to make something a square peg fit into a circle hole, so to speak, right? It doesn't matter how much magic you throw at it. Eventually, something's going to have to give, or you're going to
Yes.
have to do a lot of magical maintenance,
Yep.
which to me, a lazy motherfucker like myself, is that I'm
I
just
agree.
not.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm just not into that. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Like
me
that's too much
neither.
work. It's a turn off. If it's too much work for me, it's a turn off because I like
Exactly. Me
flow.
too.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But
So you
so
brought
what were
up
the
a super
results? What were
important
the
point.
results? What did you notice after you did the spell?
Listen,
Okay, you
Shango, I
blood
cannot
clotted
go
it out.
into
Ras
detail.
clot. Huh?
I can't go into too much detail
Okay,
because
that's
that's the
fine.
most recent. Okay. Um,
Okay. Well,
that's the
that's what
most
I just
recent.
said.
I
That sounds
can't.
like it's a
Okay,
work in progress.
but I can share something else that did happen that this is kind of so with my ex in Miami, he was the one that I fed the blood in spaghetti. So what I same shit, I would collect the blood in a glass vial, I would keep it in the fridge. And when he got home from work, I poured some on his plate of spaghetti, mixed it in good. The next morning, this is somebody who did not believe in magic, witchcraft. He was completely against it. He said,
Mhm.
"I had the weirdest dream with you this morning." I mean, last night. I was like, "Really? What?" He goes, "I had a dream. Listen to this shit. That I had a ball of your hair stuck in my throat and it was choking me. And I was pulling out the hair like one at a time. And I was like, oh, that's weird." And I was like, oh, fuck.
That's your free
So,
will buddy getting choked out. Okay.
oh, fuck.
I see. I do. I one time. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I don't do it for love. Like, okay. First of all, I don't want a committed relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I'm not looking for anything. So my analogy is like, if I'm going to the store to buy something like some candy, okay, that's what I'm looking for. But if along the way to the store I happen to find a wallet with $1,000 in it, I'm gonna keep it, right? So like,
Yeah.
I'm exploring, right? So
Right.
right now
Yes, me
I'm
too.
explorative right now. So,
Okay,
but
that's exactly how I
but
feel.
that's not to say that I won't. But I'm also I'm a full blown full time occultist, so I got to keep my shit sharp. So I make people my projects too. I mean, how else are you going to learn and
Oh, absolutely.
keep pushing the envelope without experimentation? You know, so
I'm
it
glad you
is what
said
it
that
is.
because
Yeah.
yes, people are my projects as well. So not just with love, but I'll test things like with people I know, with people I work, like harmless things. Like I'll
Mhm.
test my magic on people that I know I can see the effects and see how my
Of
magic
course,
is
yeah. You
working.
got to have
Yeah.
something to gauge off of. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you got to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's not to say I won't make a bitch, a project. But it's not because I feel like
Yeah.
I have to have her or I want. I just want to
I see
clarify
what you
that
mean.
because yeah, and I find it fun to experiment.
By the
So
way, I have a question. What would you why do you say a full-time occultist? What to you is the definition of a full-time occultist? Because I also consider myself, even though I don't make a living out of it, a full-time occultist.
that's
But
what
what
I'm
do you
saying. I
tell me?
mean it like that. I'm not even talking about the business aspect. I'm just talking about my life, period.
Which, by the
Okay.
way, people, there is absolutely nothing wrong in making a living out of what you're passionate about. Just
I
so you
mean,
know,
yeah, like, yeah, absolutely. Like you
that's what we
should.
should
But what
do.
I'm saying full time is I'm just saying the money doesn't make it any more or less significant, is what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
know? So the fact that everything I do spiritually is a byproduct of me, so like I'm in this shit. Like, that's one thing that I've noticed too in one of our prior conversations. We will make ourselves, we will be our own guinea pigs at the drop of a hat on
Oh,
some
yes.
crazy shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm
So
totally up for
yeah,
it. Like I have
yeah.
no problem like putting myself in positions where uh are going to be kind of, I guess, bad for some people. I have no problem. I like to experiment.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you have to, you got to,
She's
you got
really
to do,
she's really with what shit?
huh?
That comment that you just posted.
Oh,
Like
she said,
I can't see the comment.
oh,
I
she
can only
said,
see.
CEG, I'm really with the shits. Like, yeah, that's another way of saying it. That's the colloquial slang. Yeah. Lav asked, doesn't being a full-time occultist drain your energy and make you age faster? Well, I'm
Yes.
72,
Ugh.
blood. I'm 72. You know what I'm saying? So
Stop.
part of that
No, you're
is,
not,
I'll
Shango.
tell you like this. Look,
Hold on. How old are you?
you
I
if
will
you
say my
worship,
age.
if you worship the Yanni, she will grant you youth, bro.
That
Okay,
is
she will
that
grant
is
you
that
youth.
is a fact.
That's a
Yeah.
fact. Okay, so yeah, I still got like 20-something-year-olds like hitting on
Are
me
you
and
going to
shit.
tell
So
me how old you are, by the way?
no, I'm not. I'm never going to give my specific
Oh,
age on
fine.
here.
I'm
I
not
got
going to give my
enemies. You know what I'm
specific age.
saying? I got enemies.
No, that's true. You're
I'm gonna
right.
make them do the math. Okay.
Oh, true,
Fuck
true.
you. You're gonna have to
But you
do the
tell me
math.
later. You
Yeah,
better
I'll
tell
tell you
me
later.
later. I'll tell you later too. I've
Yeah.
never said my age on social media, by the way, but I'll tell
Well,
you.
like I said, like I said, I'm 72. So, that's what
Okay.
I always say. So, it is what it is. So, you know, but I think you have to experiment. I have fun experimenting. I learn
Yeah,
a
me too.
lot. I let the process show me, and there's so many different when you're experimenting, like especially with like love magic, for example. If
Yep.
you tweak one variable, you might want to like, okay, I'm going to change this one thing and I'm going to try this now for a couple of weeks. Because you got to give it some time, right? You can't go tweaking
Yes.
things you got to like do it kind of systematically. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So
Yes. And
yeah.
it usually starts working like afterwards, like when you kind of like gave up on the shit you did. To be
Mhm.
honest with you, when I do love magic, I kind of layer the shit. Like I'll do a
Mhm.
veladora, which
Mhm.
I share a lot on my channel, the Tarot and
A
Brujeria
candle.
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I incorporate a lot of shit like sticks, herbs, animals, food, like all kinds of shit
Mhm.
in my veladora. So to me, I don't know what your niche is as far as like magic, but
I'm
like for
chaos
example, me,
magician.
yeah,
If I
me
have
too.
to say, yeah, it's like anything goes, whatever. I can
Yes,
use
whatever.
anything. Yeah, I can use anything. So
Exactly. Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. So, but what I always resort to is either like herbs, oils, and candles. Those three are like my go-to stuff. I don't
here's an
really know
excellent
why.
question. Here's an excellent
Okay.
question. I got to hit you with this.
Oh,
So
fuck. That is a hard question.
Bijou Jones, right? How do you get rid of old love magic?
Well,
Or
it
have
depends.
you? Or do you just leave it floating around like space debris? You know what I'm saying?
It depends. To be completely honest with you, so it depends what you do and what you did. You can try to like cut cords and do rituals and shit like that. But for example, there is a jar that I buried. So this is another thing that you girls can do. When I was in Miami, there was like a hurricane that came by and the tree fell over, like roots and everything. It just like popped out of the ground. What I
Mm,
did was I did a jar, like a sweetening jar, you could say. There was honey, there was blood, there was period blood, a picture, other herbs, stuff like that. And
right.
what I did was I buried it where the hole was and I covered it with dirt so the people that lifted the tree back up couldn't see it. And
Mhm.
that's a good way to dispose of your magic spells that are supposed to like create something to grow. You want to plant them under a plant or ideally under like a tree or something that is like growing or
Mhm.
even young that is growing. And so, anyways, they fixed that tree upright. And now, obviously, I'm not with that person anymore, right? And that
Mhm.
person still messages me once in a while and things like that. And
Mm.
I feel like it's like an ongoing thing, which is never going to be dug out of there because that was a big ass tree. So,
I think like depending on how much you entangle yourself with somebody quantumly through
yes,
magic, you may never fully unentangle yourself, you know.
exactly.
However, you can really diminish it. So to the point where it's just like
Yes,
they're totally out of sight, out of mind type of thing. I do most
exactly.
of mine just more like straight up just energy work, like cut cording,
Me
cord
too.
cutting,
Exactly.
you know, stuff like that, trance work. And then afterwards, I just keep it pushing, you know. And if something else comes up again, that lets me know I got more work to do, of course, you know. And speaking of like the dating apps and all that shit, like
Mhm.
you have to be careful, ladies, because some of you ladies may you don't know if this motherfucker might be a little bit unstable. You hit him
Sí,
with some
exactly.
brujeria, and now you have a full blown stage 5 stalker, or you hit him
Yeah.
with some of that good kitty. You know what I'm saying? And then you're gonna have
No,
yeah.
it's not even funny. Yeah, you can
Or
get in some really
if
bad.
you're a guac goddess, as they say, okay, guac guac, okay, you're gonna have some problems. That's magic in and of itself. You should know that. Okay, you're gonna have some problems with the average human dude. A lot of times, depends though. It all depends. It all
By the
depends.
way, girls, if you have your period and there is a man willing to eat you out when you're in your period, that is like if you're feeding him spaghetti. Okay, so without them even knowing, if you can get them to eat you out when you're on your period, that is like the
How they
ultimate
not gonna
fucking
know,
love
Vaughn?
magic.
How they not
What?
gonna know?
Mm,
How
Django,
they
they're
not
not
gonna
gonna
know?
know. Especially if you're telling me like, oh, you can totally make it work with somebody who's normal.
No,
They
but
don't
what I'm
know
saying is, oh, are you talking about like they know you're on your
the
period though?
intentions. Yeah, of course, but
Okay,
the
yeah, I was gonna say, how they
intentions,
not
you
gonna
get it?
know that there's
No,
blood?
no, of course. I mean,
Okay,
but the intentions behind it, you
I
get it?
got
Like,
it.
there's a lot of guys who are not into magic that are willing to eat you out on your period. That
Mhm.
is the ultimate fucking love magic. Even sex
I got no
is,
shame.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, you're gonna direct it. Of course, that's like the easiest way. You don't have to sneak and shit. Okay,
yeah.
fellas, I gotta arm the fellas with something. You got a little unruly ass bitch that needs to be a little. You gotta, you know, put your foot on her a little bit. Magically speaking, I'll tell you what you do. You put a couple drops of your urine in her favorite drink. Okay, since y'all want to be serving up shit. Okay, that two can tango on that. Okay, yeah. Okay,
Well, even
yeah.
I mean,
Thank you
not
later.
just urine, but even if she swallows your cum.
If it's a wait, hold on. If yeah, that's true. You can have an intention. That's one of the hardest ones to break right there. Speaking from because I have a policy. It's either going, you know, down the hatch or up the snatch. We do not waste the godly elixir.
Oh my god.
We do not waste the godly elixir. Okay, thou shalt not. Okay, so one of the two. All right, it's actually going to be both. You just don't know that yet. But you know, first timers, hey, now you have a chance to decide. I'll give you a little
Yeah.
bit. I'll give you the illusion of choice. So yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right though. That sexual energy backed with intention is very powerful. But just make sure, because sometimes once you get entangled with something, it's like I don't know if you can get untangled sometimes. You're just
No,
gonna
I
have to slap it
honestly
out.
look, to answer her question, Bijou Jones. Um, it's extremely hard to undo. It depends what you did, but it's very hard to undo it. Honestly, I just continue with my life, and so be it. You have to be, when you do magic, you have to be willing to accept the consequences long
That's true.
term of whatever you're doing. So whatever you do, you better make sure that you know the consequences and be like, you know what, fuck it. I will deal with the punches as they come.
You better make
I know
sure
that
you
I'm
really want that shit, and you better make
yeah, like
sure,
even
like,
even when
yeah.
you curse somebody, you need to look. Whenever I don't actually this kind of, we're getting a little off topic of love, but I have no problem with that. So
It flows
I
how it's
have
gonna
no
flow, sweetheart. Just go with it, man. Okay.
there I have no issue doing things to, I guess, like black man. I don't even know what to call it. Like when you are throwing negativity at somebody, if I have to, I will. However, to be honest with you, I have hardly ever done that because why? I am human. I'm not some fucking god that is immortal. And I have a limited amount of energy in a day. I'd rather use that energy to manifest things that I do want in my life than to be uh, sending shit out to people. What I will do is I will protect myself. And that is why you want to have a close relationship with your spirits so that they handle the shit for you. So, like you said, Shango, one time you focus on, what was it? Like not protection,
I just
but
prefer to be. I consider fortification, right? Because if I'm going to do rituals for
fortification. Yes,
protection, right? Protection to me automatically assumes a threat, right?
you're
What you
right. Yes,
protecting yourself
absolutely.
for or from, right? But if I'm fortified, right? And the analogy I use is like that of an immune system. If your immune system is fortified, then you don't have to worry if you walk into a room and somebody's over there sneezing and shit. It's not going to have a home with you, right? So
Exactly.
my idea of fortification is predominantly staying more focused on things that excite me, that I'm passionate about, keeping my spirits higher, so to speak, than
Yes,
letting myself be constantly in some negative frame of mind, depressed, or shit like that, because that right there opens you up. Your aura looks like shit. You got
exactly.
holes in your aura and shit like that. You're like a walking spiritual cesspool, if you're not careful. So, and of course, like we mentioned earlier, um, being selective with who I mix my energy with. Who gets to
Exactly.
put who gets to put that goddess nectar all up in this flavor saver, okay? That
Oh
you know what
man.
I'm saying? You don't just
Mm,
get to, I got to choose whether that's going to happen or not. It's my mouth, it's my flavor saver. I have that right. So because I'm gonna tell you this, especially for us men, right? For the gods out there, the wrong choice of bitch or woman or goddess will bring you down quicker than anything. And I've seen this happen over and over again.
Absolutely. Yes. A woman will make or break the man. And that's not on some feminist shit because, I mean, okay, I have no problem with disagreeing with someone. If you don't agree with me, we can agree to disagree. I don't
Yeah.
get offended. You can have like polar opposite thoughts in regard to like feminism and stuff like that. But I do believe the controversial thing that's going around, which is that yeah, masculinity is being threatened, and
Absolutely.
I believe in embracing your femininity, and I'm not into the whole like women are equal. No, we're not fucking equal. This is just my personal opinion. Like I said, we
Mm-hmm.
can agree to disagree, and it's okay.
I'm
And
glad
that's
you
it.
brought that up because I
Yeah, like
believe
I completely embrace.
I don't believe,
Uh,
I know, I can just look and I can see it. Okay, there is a psyop war, especially between men and women of color. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know that.
But men and women actually in general, but it's a whole lot worse for like men and women of color. You know what I'm saying? And it's like this whole, I'm not trying to like side with this one or that. I look at everybody's argument and I say, you know, there may be some valid points that they bring up.
Right.
Women bring up valid points. And in essence, it reminds me of a meme that I saw a long time ago where the guy's holding up a coin and he keeps screaming, "It's heads." And the guy on the other side of So I'm not with all the
okay, you froze for a second.
Yeah, I know, I'm seeing that right now. I'm not with the like, because there's a lot of motherfuckers out here who got the baby dick syndrome. You know what I'm saying? They hate women. I mean, that's really just what it comes down to. And I'm not with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with that shit. Like, am I saying that every woman should be treated like a goddess? No. You know, you got to fucking act like one. You got to be one first, you know, before you get treated like one. So
we have to embrace your role, your femininity.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely though. Like, yes, you do have to. I believe that's true. You know, I believe things would work a lot better. That's kind of like if you want to call it like the natural order of things, you know what I'm saying, to some degree.
But I just want to set something straight. I am not like, I have a ton of gay friends and I have a ton of friends who are also transsexual, who they feel like they were born in the wrong body.
I'm not even going to touch that
with them. No, but it's okay. Like, I have no issue with that. I completely think that is valid and that it can even be proven scientifically. Like, yes, they were born with more like chromosomes of one thing to another. All I'm saying is that if you consider yourself a woman, and I'm
see, look, let me hold on, wait. As a heterosexual man, I have to say this, okay? If you was born with meat and 2 veg, okay, you cannot just say, "Oh, I'm a woman." You know what I'm saying? No, like, I don't. As far as, look, if you know that the majority of us men are looking for a woman who was born with a slit, with a vag, right? At least once a month, that type of thing, you know, then I think, like, as much as somebody may identify, I mean, you got kids now identifying as being a cat or a dog now. Where does this shit end?
No, I agree.
But I'm not gonna like even touch on that, you know.
No, I agree.
I don't want to get the G Mafia after me.
Okay, if you were born, in my opinion, if you were born with a certain genital, you have to be honest with the person.
That's all I'm saying.
Ahead of yes, I do agree.
How about this? I got a suggestion. You can even say, "I'm a woman, but I have meat and 2 veg." I was
born with a penis.
Yeah, I was born with meat and 2 veg, though. You know,
I think that's the right.
There was a mix up at birth. Yeah. But something to that effect, some type of disclosure that way. So at least that way, whoever the guy is, he can decide whether, you know.
I agree.
Yeah. So
I agree.
I just, you know, I mean, other than that, go ahead and do what the hell you want to do. I don't care. I just know what I want. And I want to be able to have access to what I want without all the extracurriculars. And I mean, there's already enough fucking obstacles. You know what I'm saying? We got scammers. We got, you know, we got trannies. We got this to contend with, like, for fuck's sake. All right. And then there's fucking psychos too. So, like, there's a whole bunch of
my things, God, you know? Yeah. Well, okay, I have a question. What is the definition of a psycho to you? What do you mean by a psycho? Because I could very well be a psycho.
Yeah, I think I can see that. I can see that. Okay,
I'm not even gonna deny
I've been stalked several times, and especially like when I was younger, I thought that shit was cute. You know.
You froze.
Hello.
Okay, I could hear you. Go on. You said when I was young, I thought that was cute.
I just seen myself disappear off the screen.
Oh.
Yeah. But anyways, psycho though could be like, I don't know. Sometimes like a woman can all of a sudden get offended because you
Oh,
broke
I
some
hate that
rule
shit.
that you didn't even know was
Right.
there. You didn't agree to nothing. You know, all of a sudden this bitch is like, wanting to bash out your windows and you did not see it coming. You know what I'm saying? Like you was hitting her crazy button a little bit too well. So now it's like, brick through the window, pop-ups, doing all that shit.
Okay, so
I'm
that's
cool on it.
psycho, right?
And mind you,
Breaking.
I have been stabbed in the leg by a woman. So
Stop.
like,
Are you
yeah,
serious?
I got some PTSD, you know what I'm saying?
Hold
Shit.
on. Hold on. What were you stabbed with? Oh, no, wait, I have questions.
I know you
First
do.
of all, what did you do to prompt this woman to do that? And what did she use? I mean, what did she use?
the biggest butcher knife in the drawer. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. I have a question. Was she
Oh my
right in
God.
front of the drawer? Did she go get it?
I was sitting down at a dining room table.
Okay.
Okay. We were arguing.
Oh,
Okay. And
okay.
the reason we were arguing, this was my second daughter's mother. Okay. She was pregnant at the time with my
God damn.
daughter.
How many kids do you have, Shango?
I got 3. Don't distract me, yo. I gotta take because I'm gonna go off here and then, you know what I'm saying?
All right, go.
So I believe that day that she was smoking.
Okay.
So that's a problem. So
Yeah.
I'm over there talking shit, we're arguing, and then I hear the drawer whip open, all the metal clanging.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
And by this time, she's already getting pissed, and she's the type to get them little spit residuals on the corner of her mouth. You know what I'm talking about? Some of y'all got that shit. That fucking shit is crazy. That fucking rabies and shit, rabbis. All right. So I hear the drawer whoop open, all the metal clang. The biggest motherfucker in that drawer comes whooping out, and she approaches me, and I'm still sitting down. And then, of course, my Sag scalpel tongue really got into effect.
Oh no, not the Sag.
Yeah, and I was just like
We have no filter.
telling her how much she ain't gonna do shit, blah 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 blah. I even stuck my neck out and I took her hand and I put the point of the knife right there. I said, "Go ahead." You're so, I was out of pocket for saying a lot of this shit.
Crazy ass.
I know. And I said, "You're so blah blah blah. You know you ain't going to blah blah blah." And she was like shaking. She wanted to just shove it right through my neck, right?
God,
but moment she caught herself and she goes, she made this sound, right? As someone said, possessed by a demon. I think so, because the demon squealed, right? She went, ah, and then just went like this real quick and just got me in my leg. I jumped up and I immediately felt the warm, life-giving liquid flow from my leg as it began to dye my light blue jeans. You know what I'm saying? And my first instinct was, I wanted to take one of these large wooden chairs and bash her over the head with it. But like I said,
should not be laughing at this.
But she was pregnant. Okay. This was a long time ago. This was this was like 2000. Okay.
Oh, that's not
so
funny.
A long time ago. So she was pregnant and I couldn't do that. So we were upstairs, second floor. So I ended up backing up. There was I can't believe I'm telling this story, but it's Unchained, goddammit. This is Shango Unchained. Okay, so look, there was a little patio, right? So I backed up out the patio. I had the chair like a lion tamer, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I backed up out the patio. I closed the door and I was holding it. She walks up to the glass thing and she's a Gemini too. And she was like,
oh my God, my mom's a Gemini. Dear Lord, baby Jesus.
Yeah, she was tapping on the window, just staring me dead in my eye.
Oh,
and then all of a sudden she paused and I seen that she got an idea because my car was downstairs, you know. Oh. So she turns around and goes down, heads for the door. I automatically knew she's headed for my car. So I jumped off the balcony, stab wound and all, blood all over my fucking leg, hobbled to the car, and she's like already like 6-7 months. So like, she's not fast, is what I'm saying. She's not fast, right? So she's like hobbling down, trying to get to the car. And I happened to make it there first. And I went and then I told a lie when I got to the emergency room. I said some Mexicans tried to jump me and they stabbed me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. But my point is, I know about the psycho shit. Okay, so
Yeah.
like
No, you're okay. I understand now.
that's
Yep,
coming
that's
from
considered
experience,
psycho.
people. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what this is. All right,
Oh fuck.
I done had my share of rodeos. Okay, so
My
everything from
God,
like
Shango.
I know
Well,
everything.
I feel like I understand your age now. Okay.
Yes, so one should be able to understand my selectivity. Okay, because
Okay. Well, good.
I did happen to learn from my lessons. I won't say mistakes, but my lessons. You know what I mean? So each woman I deal with, no matter how I deal with them, is some form of a lesson. I always call y'all my teachers because you are.
Yeah.
That's how I look at you. So you
Which,
might
by
be
the
just
way, what you, uh-huh,
go ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
What you just said reminded me of something you said before, which was about shadow work. And
Mhm.
that's why it's so important to do shadow work. And yeah, you were, that's what you were, when you were frozen, one of the spots. Um, it's so important to do shadow work because you want to be honest with yourself about who you really are, what you really do.
Right.
And like, you need to like embrace and evolve from the shit that you look. I
Mhm.
cannot, when a man says I'm a good man, there, to me, no man is good man if you don't know the damage that you've done and the damage that you are
Oh yeah,
capable of doing.
absolutely.
And like like I say, if you were to do something really shameful, and but you were to be honest about it, and you were like, yeah, I'm not fucking perfect, I'm human, and I did this, and I know that was wrong. Like, that is, I don't know, to me, like, most people will be like, well, they for example, no, I'm not even going to touch on this because it's too hard.
Hold on, I gotta address something. You know, but you're
Yeah.
right. Shadow work is definitely imperative. You know, just overall, shadow work is actually the foundation of all true, real magic. Okay, like I'm not talking about just like haphazard spells and shit like that. I'm talking
Yeah.
about if you're really about transformation and stuff. It's quintessential, right? It's not the easiest thing. It has you looking in the closets and the spaces and places that you don't want to look, but you have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we all have a dark side, but I got to address this. Our resident prophetess Vance, she says, "What? I'll never understand the not equal thing, but I don't have to." Well, you know, judged off of a lot of shit that you post, prophetess.
Me?
No, not
Oh,
you.
her.
Prophetess Vance. Yeah. I would just say, like, I mean, how? Okay, as far as the not equal thing, I mean, once again, there's levels to that. Like, what equal in what way? As a human or as a person
I
or
think she means as a man and woman.
no, I know that, but even at that, I mean, if you're taking that's just like a man is naturally physically more stronger than a woman. Are you going to say they're
Right.
not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
Like,
course they are.
so
Not to
not equal.
say, because I know that women are going to say that, of course, you can bodybuild and shit like that and
Even at
get to
that, you
the,
take the biggest bodybuilder, you take the biggest woman bodybuilder. She
yeah,
don't even compare to like the mid male bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
it's just it is what it is. There are certain things they're just
Right.
not equal. Yeah. No, I'm telling her that, but I mean, I don't know exactly where she's coming from with that, but
Yeah. Well, I'm sure she's going to
maybe
elaborate in a
probably
second.
within a relationship, because then there's also within the relationship. Like there's some women who I don't know, bro. Like that's what I'm talking about. That shit is just like, I don't know.
Shango, you and I talked about so much shit this week that, what the hell
Mm.
did we talk about that I was telling you, like, this would be like
We
good to
don't have
talk
to be
about on
the
the podcast?
same. Hold on. She
What?
says we don't have to be the same to be equal. Everybody's different. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Everybody is.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yes. Embrace your femininity. We're still equal. Like, we contribute different things and we're equal. But a man is a man and a woman is a woman in our rules. Like, I'm not gonna try to be like my man. I'm gonna embrace my femininity and, oh,
Quinitha Watson says
we have,
we have different things to do. It's not about who does more.
exactly.
I would agree to that too.
Yeah.
And it's also about what you agree to with the other person before you get into the relationship. Because, as for example, like I was just telling you, I've had some chicks spaz out on me, right? Because all of a sudden, you know, they came to some conclusion in their own little tiny, you know, pretty little heads that I had no clue about, right? So next thing you
What do you
know,
mean?
they was getting pissed off about shit that like I didn't even understand. So I just let them.
What did
You know,
you do,
I
Shane? I'm
didn't
just
do. I'm
kidding.
just being me. I'm living. You know what I'm saying? Like it can be anything from someone's definition of inconsistent. You're being inconsistent. Well, I mean,
Oh
I believe
Lord.
I am consistent. You know, maybe my version of consistency is different than yours.
Exactly.
But if
Yes.
we never talk about that and establish that, if that's a thing, then how can you get mad at somebody for something that is not established yet? That's like
Exactly.
somebody putting an expectation on you, and then you break that expectation, but you didn't even know that that expectation existed.
Existed. Yep. I agree.
That's why motherfuckers gotta you got to talk. You gotta
You
use
see,
this.
this is why you can't talk crap about when I was saying about tell me what we are. Tell me what we are. Are we together?
I
Or we
get
not
okay, no, I get it. I just be like, I be
I'm
fucking
just
with
kidding.
y'all when y'all be saying that shit. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
know.
like, I be fucking with y'all. But like, no, it's. I mean, that's letting you know that one of us is to a point where maybe we're getting confused.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know, but all in all, I think that without communication is the absolute foundation. That's how you're going to
Of
get
course.
love.
Well, even
Yeah.
this week when you and I were communicating, remember there was
Hmm.
misunderstandings of what I was trying to explain.
Hmm.
And then when we clarified,
Yes.
it was better.
Clarification is always a good
Now,
thing.
what the hell is it that we were talking? I know we talked about a bunch of shit that I was like, this is something about.
Nah, some people, hold on. Nah, some people
Uh-huh.
don't want, I'm just reading a comment here. Some people
Okay.
don't want a relationship but get mad when the women dates someone else. That's true. That is true.
Oh, really?
I'm sure that happens. Yeah. She's probably
Okay,
went through it.
Shango,
This is
you as
why.
a man, would you have issues with that if you're talking to a girl, but you yourself don't want anything serious? And let's say you've gone a couple of dates with her and then you find out like 2 weeks later that she went on dates with other guys. Would that bother
No,
you?
no. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell
I
you
don't
why.
think it should.
I'm gonna share the Shango get down for everyone there. So
Oh,
if you catch me on the
okay.
goddamn apps on that app life, okay, you know what it is.
I'm tempted to download the app just so I could go into your profile, by the way.
If you're gonna find me on that app, you're gonna see what it is. But
What is it? Is it
I
Shango
don't
Ray?
ask questions. Where you been? Who were you
Oh,
talking
me
to?
neither.
None of that shit. Why? Because I don't want you asking me that. And
Right.
I do believe in treating people as I wish to be treated. So if I give you your space being I'm not all in your business like that, then that's what I expect in return. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And if you want to, violators get violated. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just that's what it is. So if you want to cross, if a woman's gonna try and like press me about something, like I'll just set her straight in a calm way. You know what I'm saying? But if she just can't handle that, then it's just not going to work. And my whole thing, like I tell every single woman that I talk to, I'm into win-win-win situations because I am. It's not a pitch. It's not a line. It's the truth. You know,
What do you mean by
I
win-win?
win, you win, we win. There's a we
Exactly.
factor. So
Yeah.
however that needs to work out, those three elements are there. Once it's not working out for you, it's not going to work. Once it's not working out for me, it's not going to work.
Well, can you
So,
elaborate on the working out for you? What would working out for you look like?
working out for me is just don't get too much in my way because I be a busy
Exactly.
dude. Sometimes I got a lot of shit. I'm a one-man
Yes.
band. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a lot of shit, and a lot of this shit
So
takes a lot of
basically,
my
don't be too clingy, don't be too needy.
yeah. Pretty
Okay, got
much.
it.
Or
I'm the same
or
way.
or
Yep.
or let's not get passive aggressive and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's I'm a quote Escape, I believe. What I need from you is understanding. All right. Like that's what I need. And I'll give it to you. All right. And I'll give it to you. Give it to you. So I will, so that's what you're going to get from me. So once again, if we have that communication, we can have understanding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how about yourself? What is I'll tell you what are right now your current deal breakers if you happen to be dating somebody?
Okay. Well, obviously, what we already talked about, which is for me right now, as it stands, you have to be somewhat in the same kind of something related to spirituality that I am. If you're not, in my mind, I know this is not sustainable. I may want to have sex with you, but it's not going to be sustainable. Now, let's see. Deal breakers, deal breakers.
Spoken like a true Sagittarius. Piff in the audience here says, "Don't ask me shit."
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Hold on. What do you mean by a true Sagittarius? Because I am a Sagittarius moon, which Shango, that means,
It's
you
just your
know,
emotions.
a
girl.
moon sign.
It's just your emotions.
A moon sign is how I really am inside. And I resonate more with a Sagittarius and a Scorpio than an Aquarius.
I was born in Aquarius, but I feel like I'm more Sagittarius. Okay, you one of them?
Oh my God.
You are a
Oh
cis,
my
a
God.
cis. What do they call it? A cistern Aquarius, right? That's what you
Oh,
are.
what?
So,
What's
right
that?
on the dating apps, I had to ask that. I had to look it up.
What the fuck is
They
that?
say I'm a cistern woman. I said, what the fuck is a cistern woman?
Yeah, what
I
the
done
fuck is
swipe
that?
left. Yeah, I done swipe left on a bunch of these because I thought that meant like surgically, I'm a surgically made woman or something, right? So I went and looked it up, and a cistern woman or something like that means that they were born, as I said, with a slit, ovaries, lips,
Okay.
you know, the good stuff.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, because anybody could just say they're a woman now, pretty much.
Right.
So now they have, if you're a cistern with a C, yeah, cistern woman
with a C.
That means
Okay.
Yeah, that means you were born a woman.
I didn't fucking know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I completely so what was your question? What are my deal breakers?
Yeah, like what are your typical deal breakers? And you said something about they have to kind of be on the same thing as you are spiritually, correct?
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's see. Outside of that, deal breakers. I don't think I have any deal breakers outside of that, to be honest. I'm not into looks. And you may think I'm just saying that, and you may be like, yeah, right. Shango, my whole life I've been around like friends and stuff, girls, right? Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, oh my God, that guy's fine as fuck. I will not find anyone attractive or unattractive. But if I like your mind, if you make me fall in love with your mind, I will fucking.
That makes all the sense in the world. You know why? Because the universe is mental. All is mind and the universe is mental. So that makes perfect sense. And like I was told long ago by an old pimp OG, he said, if you get her mind, her behind will follow. So that's what you should aim for. That's what you should aim for. Yeah. So
at least for me. Yeah,
that goes throughout the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's universal.
There's a lot of girls that will look at looks and first, but however, if you do get their mind, they will look beyond the looks. In my case, I never look at looks.
It's the same way though. Looks are great, obviously, but looks can be affected the moment a person opens their mouth.
Absolutely.
You're either going to enhance your looks or you're going to fuck your shit up. You know, you're going to diminish your looks unless you just got like certain physical qualities that the other person finds real sexy and shit. And they're like, damn, they're dumber than a bag of rocks, but fuck.
Yeah, you know? I can't. No, I can't. I wouldn't. Even if you had like the humongous dick in the world, I cannot overlook. If I'm not attracted to your mind, I will not have sex with you. I can't.
Someone else, BG Jones mentioned, actually, that's a good point. Hold
drug
on.
User is that one?
She said, start with your boundaries and then you work out from your own personal boundaries. That's actually pretty intelligent there.
Absolutely. Yes.
That's good. Touche on
your boundaries.
Yeah.
So for me,
that once again, know that means you got to know yourself in order to know your boundaries. Again, I don't want to sound redundant, but if you don't know yourself, you're in a world of fucking trouble. You're gonna be going through some shit.
Well, which honestly, the first name that came to mind when you said that is Lucifer and Belial. So
Hmm.
Lucifer and Belial are all about self mastery and
Hmm.
about liberating yourself from feeling the need to like,
Here's one for
yeah.
you. I'll just ask you since you're the guest of honor today,
So,
Vaughn.
oh, thank you.
So yes, drug user is a deal breaker for me. That could be a
Yes,
real serious one.
absolutely. That is a deal breaker
That's
for
a
me, of
bad
course.
one right there. Yeah, that's a
Now,
real
if it's
one.
a recovering drug addict, no, I have no problem in dating them. Knowing that they can relapse, I have no problem in dating them. Why? Because they're trying to better themselves. And yes, I know there's a chance for relapse. It's okay. I'm willing to take on that shit. But it's not a deal breaker for me.
Hmm.
Now,
Hmm.
actively using drugs, yes, of course. Of course.
Well, unless you're actively using drugs too, then of course, like you're gonna want that. You know
Oh,
what I'm
yeah, of
saying?
course.
I'm
Yeah.
looking for that. Matter of fact, you got some? No,
Well, as a
no.
matter of fact, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I can't really fuck with the drug user. I can't even hardly drink anymore. Like I can have a few drinks, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, I can't really drink anymore. Like my body's just is not
Why?
really fucking with it. My body's just not fucking like
Well, what
when you're
happens?
it just I don't like the way I feel after a while. Like in my
You mean the next
tolerance,
day?
no, even sometimes during. Like my tolerance has went I used to be able to put it away. You know what I'm saying? I used to be able to fucking
Okay.
drink and smoke weed all night. Can't do that shit no more. Like I just can't do it no more.
Well,
Doesn't work for me.
I never drink because, like I said before, I'm an extremist. So I know myself, and when I drink, I drink. I cannot have one or two drinks. So therefore, I try not to drink, and I don't.
Uh,
I'm not into weed.
Here's another one I think is a good
Okay.
one. And I think you need to be able to find this in somebody, right? Like you need to be able to identify these things. So if you've been through something like this, okay, I'm gonna put the comment up and see what you think. Being mentally, physically, verbally, sexually, or a child abuser is a deal breaker for me. That's some serious shit right there. And there's a lot of
Okay.
that. There's a
Okay.
lot
Hold
of
on.
that.
Let's see. I'm gonna be really honest about this. Let's see. Being mentally fit. Okay. A child abuser is a deal. Well, actively again. Actively. Well. Okay. The child abuser thing obviously is a whole sensitive one, which I'm not even going to go into. And no, I would not want to deal with that if they've done that in the past. I don't even want to go there.
Yeah,
But
that's something. Yeah.
yeah, but let's say mentally, okay, that's very broad. So yes, I've been with people who have been mentally abusive to me, and I forgave them, and I don't regret forgiving them. Why? Because it boils down to the same thing. We're human. I'm not perfect. And if
You're going
you
to
are
hurt
somebody,
somebody. You're going to hurt
exactly,
somebody, and someone's going to hurt you, and that's
but if you do your shadow work and you acknowledge, yes, I did this, yes, I am
correct.
capable of doing that even still today, but I know it's wrong and I'm trying to be better, I would still be with you. Why not?
Mhm.
Um, it's not a deal breaker for me.
That's
Even if
good.
you, let's say if you were, okay, another sensitive one is a man who hits a woman.
Hmm.
If it's somebody who, again, but I have to know this about you, that I know
Hmm.
you did your shadow work and that you're aware and you're honest with me about it. And you're like, I have been physically abusive to women and I
Hmm.
am ashamed of that. These are my triggers. I do fear
Hmm.
that I can do that with you. Um, I wouldn't exactly, of course, I'd be a little more hesitant, but it was not a deal breaker for me.
Hmm.
Um, and that's maybe more
Once
sensitive.
again, coming
Yeah.
down to knowing yourself again. So yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully you get a partner who's at least trying to know themselves better out there, folks. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
exactly.
And sometimes I wanted to say this too, magic can aggravate certain things. So if you're thinking that you're just going to totally give this person a personality transplant, you are sadly mistaken, because magic tends to amplify everything. So
Exactly. For better
not
or
just
worse.
right, not just the good shit that you like or the qualities that you like, but also the other qualities
Which
as
goes
well.
which goes back to love work, how you were asking me. And this is something that some people are not aware of. When you,
Mhm.
for example, that puppet that I made, right, that I was talking about,
Yeah.
I'm not just affecting that person, I am also affecting myself. So when you do love work, don't think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get them upset. No, when you do love work that includes blood specifically, whether it's from your finger or your period,
Right.
you are you are enlacing yourself, you are affecting yourself also. You need to be aware of that. You're not just affecting the other person.
Mm-hmm.
If you're already obsessed with them or in love with them, it can be amplified by what you're doing.
Oh yeah, it definitely, and more than likely it will. More than likely it will.
Yes.
You know. So we're about to almost head out, but before we do, I wanted to give you a chance to tell the people as far as what you offer as in terms of either service or products, and what's your hot specialty right now is the P word. What is it? Platicas.
Oh,
That's it.
plastic. I was like, what the fuck
Platicas,
is a
right?
P word? Okay,
No.
so
Not that P.
I
Maybe that
was
too. I
like,
don't
P?
know. What?
Well, I mean, the price is right. No,
And you
I'm
got to
just
believe
kidding.
in yourself, right? You got to believe in yourself. Come on now. I'm gonna coach you up,
Okay.
all right?
Well,
So,
all right. So, like I said, I have two channels. One of them is dedicated to Santa Muerte only. The
mhm,
other one is the channel which is Tarot and Brujeria, which is a channel that I created for me to be able to talk about everything spiritual, from
right.
practical ways to, I don't know, like
Mhm,
prove yourself, to
right.
my experiences with the demonic, which, by the way, I wanted to talk about the demonic with you,
Mhm.
but we did not.
We'll have to
Um,
get to that. Yeah, next time. There
okay.
will be a part
Uh,
two. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna
there's
have her
a
back
lot
on.
of
Yeah. This
but
dating shit can go
anyways,
on and on. Yeah.
okay. So that other channel, like I said, it's basically where I talk about everything. So
Mhm.
I offer pláticas. My website is
Oh,
tarotandbrujeria.com.
hold on. I'm gonna put this in the chat real quick here.
Okay.
So that's www, correct?
Yeah, tarotandbrujeria.com.
Is tarot and is that AND?
Uh-huh, and brujeria,
Okay.
Spanish.
Yes. And
Okay.
tarotandbrujeria.com, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And
So
I offer obviously tarot readings and plática. So what a plática is, it's basically a phone call where you can ask me anything. You can ask me either my advice. I share either spiritual bath, depending on your situation and what you're trying to do. I can give you kind of like a recipe for a candle work.
is it
I
like
don't
spiritual?
offer
Is kind of like magical coaching in a way for a specific
exactly.
situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Like
That's what it is,
exactly.
folks.
Spiritual
Spiritual coaching.
coaching.
Yeah.
So yeah, like basically either like things that you can add to a candle. I'll tell you like step by step what you can do, or a spiritual bath, or just
What's the
anything at
YouTube?
all.
Someone's asking for your YouTubes. I'm sorry about that. At
So
Von
I
the
have
Devotee.
two. But no, it's remember the name change.
Because you changed it and it's got the W instead of the E, right? I mean, you're gonna pop up if they type it in. Hello? Hello. I think we lost you.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now we can hear you. Yeah. At Von the Devotee, right?
Can you hear me?
Now I can only hear you when you say, "Can you hear me?"
Okay, so there's like we have like a thunderstorm, yeah, going on. The lights went out of my apartment, which is nice. I'm
Oh
in pitch
shit. Okay.
dark. Okay, so no, the channel changed. Oh shit.
Now
Can you
you
hear me
sound
now?
real good, nice and clear.
Can you hear me?
Hmm. Yeah, you're going in and out. I'm gonna. Okay, I know it's
No. Okay, okay, I could hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's your YouTube?
I heard oh shit.
No. Yeah. What is your YouTube?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us? Okay. You got found on YouTube. There you go.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so
All right.
thank
So
you.
the lights.
Appreciate.
Okay, I'm
Yeah, she put you
sorry.
up there. That's something more to do. Yeah,
Let me see.
there you
Hold on.
go. There's one of her
Hold on.
YouTubes, and you'll
I'm gonna put
find
it in
the
the
other
chat.
one
Wait.
if you find this one. If you go to this one right here, you will find the other one. Thank you, Prophets. I appreciate you. Mucho. Muchísimo. Okay. Are you there? See, this is a sign for spirits. Like, yeah, it's time. Well, she appears to be gone. So I guess she's having technical difficulties. There must be a storm a brewing out there in Texas. All right. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us on this first and foremost podcast of Shango Unchained. It was a great conversation. I'm glad to be able to share it with you. Okay. Let's understand that first and foremost. We will be back again next week, I believe. Yes, next week. Next week's guest is going to be Brother Beniti from Primordial Chaos. And that is going to be a fucking sock knocker offer, okay? Because we're going to be talking about shadow work specifically. I went through a particularly dark time, and I was like, you know what? I was drawn to his particular shadow work class. It really resonated with me, and I'm sure that y'all will get a lot out of it if you choose to check it out. So that's going to be next week on March 22nd, I believe at 5 p.m., but I'll be posting it. But anyways, I just want to thank you guys for being here, each and everyone in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Y'all made this a great show. I really appreciate you. And we will be back next week. So we'll see you again. Thank you. Have a great evening, morning, wherever this video finds you. All right. Peace.